right now.
Salah, Van Dijk, Trent. That team transforms, and
They don't. They won't sign Salah. There's no chance they would sign Salah.
Oh, they will attempt to though.
They don't need
wait. Why wouldn't they sign Salah?
Salah doesn't
Hold on.
start.
Why would? What do you mean
Salah
Salah
does
don't
not
start?
start for Real Madrid? He doesn't start.
Why doesn't he start? Why?
What are you talking about, George?
What do you mean? What are you guys talking about? He's not starting ahead of Vinicius or Rodrygo. He's just not starting ahead of them.
It's Rodrygo. That's what he's rival with Rodrygo. He's going to take over.
You're saying it like Rodrygo ain't a super bad man.
Rodrygo's better than Salah.
He's not necessarily better at this moment in time, but they will not. They're not going to change Salah for Rodrygo. What Rodrygo?
This is Real Madrid, bro. Real Madrid will put Salah there for a couple of years.
Look, I know you guys rate
Salah doesn't start at Real Madrid.
Salah does not start over Rodrygo. I'm telling you that right now.
You know how easy Salah will find that Spanish league. You know how easy will just deal with that Spanish league.
He might do, and you know how easy Rodrygo deals with the Spanish. Rodrygo.
Do you not see what Real Madrid do? They buy the Galactic. I've watched them take out all the youngsters and put all 30+ players in that team because they're Galacticos. That's what Real Madrid know.
And so you think Salah starts ahead of Rodrygo?
Yes, I do.
What's he talking about?
Of course he does. How can he not? What we do?
He doesn't. I'm sorry.
So Van Dijk goes to Real Madrid now. Van Dijk don't start either.
No, Van Dijk's different. I didn't say Van Dijk. I said Salah. Don't change the conversation.
I don't know why is it different from Van Dijk?
Because again, when we talk about centre backs, that's the one bit where they're actually weaken.
No, one thing is what's his name? The one that's
Alaba.
No, not Alaba. The other one.
Rudiger.
Yeah, Militao and Rudiger.
Militao and Rudiger. Yeah, but Militao and Alaba had mad long-term injuries, and they're like coming back.
All right, say Militao and Rudiger is available. Van Dijk don't start.
Van Dijk would again. I think Van Dijk might start over one of them, but that's an easier conversation. Salah doesn't start on their wings. He doesn't.
Of course he does.
Salah doesn't offer what Rodrygo does. Salah
you're forgetting what they used to do. They used to fit their players.
You might think Salah's a better player. I don't personally.
I don't think he's a better player. I don't think he's a better footballer than Rodrygo. I don't. I'm not saying he does this. Real Madrid.
Why does he start?
Real Madrid don't do things like that. He's a Galactico. He gets in. I've seen Real Madrid.
Rodrygo is a Galactico. You're forgetting he's been there for years. Rodrygo's become a Galactico at Real Madrid.
He's not a Galactico like Salah. Salah is worldwide. I can't believe what we're saying.
Wait. Do you guys not deep what Rodrygo
is not a Galactico. They'd sell Rodrygo for Yamal now.
Of course they would.
They're swapping for Yamal right now.
Rodrygo is there, Yamal. This is what you guys are.
No, he's not. What are we doing here?
All that.
You guys are underrating what Rodrygo is, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I would say Yamal personally. I rate Yamal more. That's not my point I'm making. I'm saying for Real Madrid, Rodrygo is considered their Yamal for them. That's what he does. He brings that. Maybe when you look at GA and stuff, no, but when you look at the way he plays, and yes, he is that. When you look at Champions League over the last couple of years, one of the most important players for them is Rodrygo.
Rodrygo better team. Rodrygo sometimes let me start. Yeah,
I know. I don't know what he's talking about.
So, bro, what we doing? Bro, he's the weak. I'm not saying the weak link. But they have to drop someone in that team. They're dropping Rodrygo. They're not dropping Vinicius. They're not dropping Mbappe. They're dropping Rodrygo.
He was playing left wing.
I'm saying, bro, they just do anything with him. They change his position. They do anything they want with him. I can't.
I really don't think that Salah starts ahead of any of their wingers. I just don't think it.
Oh, bro.
I'm not on this, bro. I've maintained consistency.
No, fair enough, but that's your opinion, Jules. That's your opinion.
Regards to how I feel about Salah. I don't think Salah is as amazing as many people do think he is.
It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you think.
That's what he's not understanding. What you're saying.
Well, it does because it's my opinion, so it does matter.
No, I said it's right. Your opinions are right, but it doesn't mean you're right. I know if Salah goes Real Madrid, he started immediately.
Salah goes Real Madrid, he starts. What team
you're saying that, but there's people in the chat. There's people that would agree with us.
They don't agree with you. The only way that Salah didn't start, the only time when we said Salah wouldn't start at a team was when Messi was playing right wing.
Yeah, that's the only.
Anyone else? Salah starts for any team in the world.
You've lost your mind, bro. You think Salah's good?
Salah is a Galactico. Bro, Salah's one of the biggest players in the world. Yeah, right. How is he not getting in Real Madrid's team? How many bigger players are there than Salah right now in the world?
In terms of productivity and name.
Yeah, and
when
name.
you're talking about name again, I think what you guys do remember is we live in England, innit? We watch Premier League. So to us, all the English and Premier League is like, wow, they're amazing, they're big, they're the stars.
Salah. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Salah.
You may not
worldwide.
think Rodrygo and Vinicius and Rodrygo are.
I didn't say nothing about Vinicius. Nothing was said about Vinicius. We're not Rodrygo.
I mentioned
don't put Vinicius in it.
I don't know why he's squeezing Mbappe and Vinicius in it. I don't know why.
No.
I didn't even say
we were talking about Rodrygo.
Salah doesn't start for Real Madrid.
You said Rodrygo starts over Salah.
What? Rodrygo.
You said Rodrygo starts over Salah.
Yes,
he does not.
For Real Madrid, for Liverpool,
no.
For Real Madrid, yes.
Oh, I can't believe. Obviously, not for Liverpool. We ain't gonna have Salah and Rodrygo at Liverpool, are we?
You know what's funny though? If you were looking to replace Salah, would you not look at a player like Rodrygo?
Yes.
Rodrygo plays left wing. He's a left winger. He's not a right winger. Do you not understand that?
He can play on either side. They can play.
Yeah, I know he can play. I know he can play on either side.
Vinicius is a left winger as well, but Vinicius will play on either side sometimes. Like, but mainly as well. And then who plays on the right then? If he's playing on the left, Rodrygo. So what are we doing? Yeah, but Salah would take. Well, you're telling me Rodrygo's a left winger, and the same ref you're telling me Vinicius is, but they're both on the pitch at the same time. But
why is Rodrygo on the right? Why is Rodrygo playing on the right? Is
Rodrygo a right winger or is he a left winger?
Hold on. Wait. Why is he on the right then?
Because Vinicius is that good. Vinicius is better than him. Vinicius is better than Salah. What are we doing here?
Bro, we're not talking about Vinicius. We're talking about they
no,
move.
You're now
Rodrygo's been there from day one.
I'm back.
Wait, hold on. Is it even clear that Vinicius is better than Salah though? You're saying it just like randomly, like.
He's talking about as a footballer. I hear it, but productivity, no.
I don't think you get it. I am talking about as a footballer because I'm talking about what they bring to the game. Just because Salah is productive.
No one brings more than Salah in the world right now.
They do.
Salah's no one brings more than Salah in the world right now.
There's no one doing GA
in the world right now.
We just watched.
Salah's the best player in the world right now.
No. We just watched a Champions League round of 60, whatever they call it, knockout round.
I don't know why he's disrespected for no
where
reason.
Salah went absolutely ghost in two massive games. He got wrapped up by Nuno Mendes, absolutely wrapped up. Didn't go nowhere. Didn't have. Okay, but you said he's the best player in the world. So I'm telling you, in a big game like that,
who's the best player in the world?
In the Champions League. No, in the Champions League.
Who's the best player in the world?
D, you're asking me loads of questions. You're not even letting me get out my point. This way, you're going to ask me 5 questions. You want me to answer all of them. You have to let me answer the first one.
Salah's not the best player in the world, not say who is.
Well, again, it's subjective. So that's you guys clearly.
It wasn't subjective when you said not the best in the world.
You guys can think it. I don't, because again, I don't rate goals, and I don't look at GA and make that. That's not my argument. I'm not going to do just GA. Oh, look at his GA. He's the best player in the world.
Who is the best player in the world?
That's what I'm doing forwards. That's what I'm doing forwards. I do GA.
Kylian Mbappe is the best player in the world.
All right, fair enough. That's your opinion. But listen. Right. Watch this.
So, I know D. He actually agrees, but he's just doing it for the point's sake.
No, I don't agree. If you ask me who I'd have in my team,
what Mbappe done to Man City, Salah could never.
What is saying random things? If you were to ask me who I want in my team, I'm picking Salah.
Over Mbappe.
Salah gets in the world 11 easy on the right wing. There's no one.
Of course he does. What are we doing?
But what are you talking about?
He doesn't.
Rodrygo in the world 11. Does Rodrygo getting there above Salah?
No, Yamal does.
Oh my
this season, I'm throwing in Yamal.
What are we doing? I said with the 17-year-olds.
I think Yamal's better than Salah, player-wise.
I didn't say he's not better. I didn't say he's not better, but he doesn't get in the team. Yeah. Like, bro,
I
know players.
I know. Again, you're probably talking to the wrong person. I'm one person that generally does. I've never rated Salah like that. So you can ask, like, there's guys that I've spoken with about Salah 5 years ago. I've maintained the same opinion. I just never have rated. Every time I've watched Salah, never moved. I've never watched him be like, raw. I respect what he does, and I respect some of the goals he scored and some of the moments he's had. Cool. But I'm never gonna rate him the way I do about other players.
I thought my cousin was better than Jay Spearing. Like, but what does that mean? What does that mean, bro? You get me? Jay Spearing.
That's what it means. He's washed, bro.
He played in the Premiership though, didn't he? Jay Spearing played in the Premiership
for like half a season, and then he got washed back down to like League 1, League 2, which isn't bad.
He had a career. The man's still doing training for Liverpool right now. Still playing for under 18s, I swear.
Under 18s at 36 and he's good. Come on, bro.
Crazy. Well, come on, bro. You got to think about it carefully, yeah? Right. Like Salah, productivity, yeah? There's no one better than him, yeah?
But we do this a lot. Sorry, D, not to cut you. We do this a lot with football where we say productivity, like that's not what you're aiming for in football. People always say, this guy's better than him because he looks good on the ball, or he's a better dribbler, or he's got a better first touch. That's what people like to do. They like to break it down too much. Salah is the best right wing attacker in the world. It's very simple. I don't know why people keep going on like
I disagree.
Like GA is the most important thing for a striker or a forward player. That's the most important thing.
Do you know what I expect?
That's the most important thing.
You know why I expect better from both of you? Because both of you grew up in an era where you could never even look up stats. You couldn't go. Might be able to press the red button and you might see top 5 goal scorers in the league, and that's it. There was no assist. Let's have it right. There was no assist.
Yeah.
Assist wasn't even in a stat.
It was Shearer.
Even when I first started watching football, I know assist wasn't a stat. People never used to look at assists.
All right, take this assist out. Take this assist out.
I was a creative player. You never looked at assists. Goals-wise, again, you looked at goals, but you always knew, whatever I watched with my eyes. When you're watching the Pires, the Bergkamps, you never looked and said, look at the numbers. You just watched them and you knew they were bad, man. You do not watch Salah and think, this guy's.
But crazy. those guys that you're talking about that you rate are never going to be the best in the world and never the greats. So the Bergkamps are never going to be better than Henry. The Zolas are never going to be. People are never going to put him above Shearer. All those guys, they never ever get classed as better than the other guys.
Well, they do something.
GA comes first.
Cantona, Bergkamp, all them guys are top class.
Hazard does.
You don't put Cantona in the bracket or anywhere near. You put in people like Shearer and any of them guys.
No, I said Hazard. Yeah. Hazard does. Hazard's a player that never had an amazing career. Hazard gets put in the top category. We was literally having a conversation the other day with someone, and someone was saying
Hazard. You don't put Hazard with who? With
Ronaldo.
He's the level. Hazard is the level just below that. I remember when you were.
Yeah, he's a level below. There's a reason he's a level below.
He's a world class.
He's a level below.
There's Ronaldo, Messi in their own category, and then the level up below.
He was playing at the same time as them. How come he wasn't in that bracket?
But he was always. That's why he got the move to Real Madrid, because he was considered the next best. He was the next guy up.
With Salah and lost.
Wait, what? You're forgetting that Salah went to Chelsea when Hazard was there, and he was little bro. He never competed with him.
Talking about at one point it was Hazard. Who's better, Hazard or Salah?
They never competed together in the Premier League. I think maybe one season they were there together, and that was the end of Hazard.
Oh no, wait, Jules. One thing. Let me ask you a question. Yes, what's the most important thing as a forward player? What is the most important thing as a forward player? What is the most important thing?
You have to look. It's different positions. If I'm talking about a striker, I'll say just goals. I'll be like, I just want goals. A winger, someone who's on the wings. I want creativity. I want.
So who's got the most assists this season?
Who's got the most assists? Who's got the most assists?
Creativity doesn't just come down to assists, and that's what we've had.
You know what?
See, we've had this argument before. We had this on Never a Foul the other day, when we were talking about Cole Palmer and you were trying to rub him out and that, and then we went to assist numbers. You're like, no, I don't want to hear about assists, because he might have he might have 3 assists in one game, disappear for so on and so forth. So then we look at
Salah doesn't disappear.
It does. We just spoke about how he disappeared at PSG. But regardless, what I look at creativity, I'm talking about sustainability in that creativity. So created chances, all of the metrics that you can actually break down on how much they are actually creating. Because how many times have you watched players create and then the striker's not scoring goals?
Darwin Núñez. I know, I hear it. We got a Darwin Núñez that don't score. We got a Jota that don't score this year. If Salah had these two scoring, bruv, if you know how many assists he gives these guys and they mess up, bruv, it'll be ridiculous.
I'm not even saying that Salah's not creative, by the way. I do agree that over the last 5 years, I think Salah's game's got way more creative. He's actually got better and better over the years. No doubt about that. He has improved over time, and he's learned to pass the ball, learned to shoot with both feet. Because let's not have a problem. He was one-footed for a while, and then he's
completely one-footed, bruv. He is one-footed. Let's not beat around. He is one-footed, bruv. He used the other foot to balance. That's it.
Salah's the most disrespected player I've ever come across.
It's crazy, bruv.
I've never ever known someone so great to get so much disrespect ever. I'm in shock that people say someone like Yamal, who because he looks good on the eye and scores a few goals, is better than someone like Mohamed Salah. Someone like
he gets
Rodrygo,
disrespected.
I've never heard so much disrespect to a player that is so great. That's
Salah
proving
it
year after year after year after year. What's going on here? What, because you want him to do a few jinky dribbles?
Bro,
I mean, he does try to do that. The ball bobbles all over the place, bro. It's bouncing
I hear it. That's same with Suarez, bro. Same with Suarez. When he dribbled the ball, it'll hit you and it'll go back to him. He wasn't clean with it all the time.
Suarez was clean with it. Suarez was clean.
Bro, you saw the refined Suarez. When he first got to Liverpool, bro, everything was bobbling with Suarez, bro. I watched this guy properly. He refined his game, fair enough. But when he first started, he was still getting goals. He would dribble the ball over your foot. It would be clumsy, bro. You get me? But he got goals. The whole thing about football, bro, is results. We can all talk about how this team plays well. Like, who cares? Like, we could look at Man United and Arsenal. Arsenal won a few leagues. Man United won more. They played 2 wingers, put the ball in the box, head of the goal. It's as simple as that. Arsenal play 1,000 passes. You get me? It looks better than Man United, or Man United won more stuff in it. It comes down to results. Salah gets you results. Salah gets you GA. GA is the most important thing as a forward player, bro. There's nothing more important than that, bro. All this, I can go around 4 players and do whatever, means nothing to me. You get me? GA is the be-all and end-all as a forward player. If I'm looking for a forward, that's the first thing I'm looking for. All the other stuff is a bonus. You get me? So you don't look for the better player.
Do you know what's funny about this? Because when we was on we just did the stream with Lee Gunner and that, the conversation that we had, I said attacking football matters, and everyone was agreeing with him on the show, saying that attacking football don't matter as long as you win. Wasn't that the conversation that he was saying? And everyone was agreeing with him. I might miss that part. Now all of a sudden, it's now.
Wait. We've said this before. Just because Lee Gunner said it doesn't make it right, bro. Like,
no, that's the point I'm making.
There's a thing. There's a super chat.
I think that was time ago.
We've done it already, man.
No, you know what?
This is they do what it takes to win, even at the cost of a player. Period. Yeah, big up you lot, my G.
That's what I'm saying. They'll take Rodrygo out and put Salah in. I've seen them do this before with Galacticos. They bought Real Madrid had a good team before they got the Galacticos. You know, forget this.
Yeah, I feel like do you remember? Like, Real Madrid love their Brazilians? You know, like they're not getting rid of that Brazilian.
Do you remember the Galacticos?
I know the real Galacticos.
Oh, I know what team you're
talking
about.
Beckham, they fitted Beckham in.
Do you remember?
05, all of them.
How old you when that was happening?
I was young, bro. I was young, but again, you
don't remember? No, but what I'm trying to get.
I remember because I'm a football.
That team was completely unbalanced. It was unbalanced.
No, I'm saying, do you remember that period of when they were doing that? Because you don't realize when they got Figo, it was a big deal because it came from.
It came from Barcelona. Of course, it was huge. No, but I'm trying to explain. That was one of the biggest deals ever in football history. I know, bro. Like, you think I don't take these things? I know,
but I'm trying to say. My point I'm making is, if you had seen that, what I'm trying to say is, at that point when they were doing all of that, at the time when they were buying certain players from certain leagues who were the best at what they were doing, Salah is a Galactico now. He's seen as a Galactico right now. You're saying it like he ain't a Galactico, like Salah ain't getting in the Real Madrid team. And I'm trying to explain to you, that's like saying Van Dijk don't get in the Real Madrid team.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say that about Van Dijk, though. It's not like the same thing.
No, but the
level of quality. No, I said that. I said Van Dijk would probably get in the team over Militao. But that's a good. All right, it's a good conversation because Rudiger and Militao are world class in their own right. That's why.
Who's keeping Van Dijk out of the team?
Militao's out of the team immediately. Militao's out of the team. Rudiger and Van Dijk are the.
I didn't say that he wouldn't get in the team.
Bro,
I said
Rudiger and Van Dijk are the Galacticos.
But the problem is that Real Madrid have more problems at the back than they do in their forward line.
They don't care. Real Madrid put Galacticos in the team. They don't care what's going on. They care about entertaining the crowd.
You'll get some minutes after Rodrygo. That's what I'm saying.
No, leave it again. He's trolling. I'm not doing it. He's trolling.
I ain't listening to him. I ain't listening to him anymore.
I'm not even trolling. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm giving you the facts. I don't think like Rodrygo is, for me, considered one of the top wingers in world football. And
Salah's not.
He is. I think. I feel like you guys just down. Rodrygo's been there for 5 or 6 years. His position's not going to get taken by someone else when he's just got to the age.
Who's someone else? This is Salah we're talking about, not someone else. This is Salah.
Bro, but Rodrygo's just you do know Rodrygo's just turned 24, right? He's a young guy. He's just getting into his prime. He's getting into those years. They're not even gonna. I reckon Rodrygo, like what Rodrygo's gonna offer at his top level, yeah, bro. Like this is gonna be when you're talking about Salah. Salah's not going to be doing what he might get. Salah might have more goals and assists. Great on the pitch. I'm looking at Rodrygo. I'm going, yeah, bro. Rodrygo's doing it just as much. That's what I'm saying. When he gets to that prime level, he's going to be there.
Salah is the most disrespected player I know. I find it baffling.
I don't find it. Opinions.
It's just like Saka getting disrespected. Is when you have players like that who play on the wings that are effective. But ultimately, when you look at their all-round play, you know, it's not as appealing to many because, yeah, it's not as like they're not pure footballers. I think you had this conversation with Hooks. I saw the clip of when he said about Kudus and all this, and I don't know whether I agree with that per se, to be honest. But when I'm talking about like a Rodrygo or so on, and like compared to a Saka and them man there, the pure football is just different level. So I feel like at Real Madrid, you need to have that about your game because Real Madrid. They don't just watch football, like they are winners, facts, but they want people that's going to entertain because Real Madrid fans are fickle, you know. They start booing
Galacticos.
The one loss.
They want Galacticos.
And Rodrygo's considered a Bro, I don't think you're deep in the... All right, you're not deep. You actually don't know the moments Rodrygo's had. You actually don't know what Rodrygo's done for them. He's won Champions Leagues for them, bro.
He's not a
He's been there for the Champions League wins.
But what do you think? Listen, why do you think they're buying Trent? They don't need a right back like that. Why they buying Trent?
Look at their right back
as a Galactico.
No, they do need a right back.
That's the reason.
So why are they buying Trent if they need a right back? Why are they buying Trent?
Hold on. Dean, name me their right backs. Sorry. Dean, name me their right backs. Carvajal is how old? Carvajal's and he's injured all the time. He's actually injured all the time. I don't think Carvajal's played much this season, bro. No. We're not going to do that because I'm going to call you out when you're wrong. That's what's going to happen. We're going to go through it.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you are. How much has Carvajal played this season? He's not much.
What is your point? I'm saying to you,
they need a right back because Carvajal's not been available. He's played 8 games all season because he's been out injured. They've had to play their best midfielder in Fede Valverde into the middle, into right back because he's so versatile. They've put him at right back to cover because they haven't got a right back. When he's not playing at right back, do you know who else plays there? What's his name? Lucas Vasquez. The winger is playing at right back. They don't have a right back.
Do they need a centre back?
Adding to a position they don't have.
Do they need a centre back?
Not necessarily, but they could do with one.
Why do you think they're buying this? Why do you think they're buying centre back?
Because they have again Militao, who has 2 ACLs currently out. Alaba, who's just had an ACL and was just come back from injury. So they've had loads of injuries. And if they could buy a centre back, it's like, all right, let's get a player who's proven and he doesn't have an injury problems. Van Dijk rarely has injury issues. He had a couple years ago, but he's been fine since then. So if they was to sign Van Dijk, it would make sense in that sense because they have 2 other players who are injury prone.
Would you do what makes sense?
Yes, they do.
They buy the best. They try to buy the best players in the world.
At this point, they do what makes sense for them. I feel like Real Madrid, although they do get the best players in the world, I think their transfer strategy has slightly changed. As in, they used to just sign big players. Now they sign smart players, and they get a lot of young players. We've noticed they sign all the best youngsters now. That's what they do to try to be ahead of the curve, so they don't have to spend these big fees. That's why they brought in Arda Güler. That's why they brought in Endrick. That's why they brought in Camavinga at the time, the Tchouameni at the time.
But you're saying Rodrygo. The point you're making is Rodrygo's a Galactico.
He is. At 5 years, after being there for 5 years, he would be considered a Galactico. That's what I'm saying to you. Being there for 5 years.
Hold on. Wait. George, one question here. So when you talk about the Real Madrid Galacticos, you're talking about Mbappe, Vinicius,
Bellingham,
Modric, Bellingham. I don't know if we could talk. Can we say Bellingham yet?
You do know that? No, he's bro. Rodrygo's in his 6th season, bro. He's in his 6th season.
It doesn't matter how many years you're there to be. It doesn't matter about how many years you've been there.
He's been at Real Madrid since he was 18 years old. They brought him as a kid because they viewed him as being the next big star from Brazil. Same way what they did with Vinicius.
And he fulfilled that. Has he fulfilled that?
Why did they buy Endrick and all that as well then?
Because that's their model, is they'll keep signing the 16, 17-year-olds. So they've always got a crop coming through every 3-4 years. They've got a crop of the best players coming through. They'll never doubt with that. That's why they're doing that. You're forgetting 20 years ago, they never used to have young players coming through their ranks like that. They had a couple, but majority of them, like you said, they were buying Galacticos. Real Madrid's model is not the same. Let's have it right. Football isn't the same. Football, the whole model of football teams. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea could go and sign big players, but what do? They go sign all the best youngsters around football because football's changed. Players peak earlier. So you're trying to sign the best youngster, so you know you get them for a cheaper price, and if you're gonna sell them, you're gonna sell them at 10 times the value which you bought them for. Football is a money game as much as it is a quality game nowadays.
I hear it. Salah's definitely getting in the team though.
Rodrygo's no Galactico, fam. The Galacticos in world football are players like Haaland, people like Rodri, Van Dijk, those type of guys. They're the Galacticos in world football. Rodrygo is not a Galactico. Like, you're just saying, it ain't no Galactico, bro. It's a simple.
Not from what you grew up with. He might not be considered a Galactico, but right now in this day and age of football, when you talk about top right wingers, he's gonna be up there. He's not. He's in the top 5. If you can't name 5 better wingers than him, then how's he not a Galactico? Because if he was at another club, they would sign him and be like,
"Is Saka a Galactico then?"
I said, "Can you name 5 better wingers than Rodrygo?"
Is Saka a Galactico? Because you can't name 5 better wingers than Saka.
I can.
No, you can't.
Rodrygo is one of them. Yeah. Salah's one of them. Lamine Yamal's one of them. That's 3 already.
Yeah, you said 5. I'm waiting for the next 2.
Bro, it's funny because when I ask you questions, you deflect. But now you're
wait. Stop. Hold on, wait, Jules, wait.